How are you able to work your way up from being that like 53rd man to having a 10-year NFL career though?
Yeah, well that's, I don't want to say luck, it's opportunity. My first season in Baltimore, that first year where I did get cut, and the second year where I made the team, we had center guard position, we had 4 or 5 guys go down. Achilles, ACLs. I go from my first year as a rookie free agent, I played in every preseason game. I played at least a 1 full half to almost 3 quarters in each game, which is unheard of as a free agent rookie. You may get 10 snaps. So that first year when I was playing against pro starters at times, or those first round draft picks, it's Tampa that saw that, got that tape of me, where most kids they don't see. Jacksonville got the tape, like this kid's got something. And then the next year was the same thing. Like I got back to the bottom of the chart, but we had 3 or 4 guys go down, knee injuries, Achilles, like torn pecs. Same thing, I ended up playing 3 quarters. And now I was just in a whole off-season program as a professional, right? Where they were paying me to lift and work out. That's all I did, twice a day. Now my performance was better. And now like, you know what? This kid may be a year away, but he's gonna be cheap and he's gonna be a company guy. He's gonna work hard. And I made the roster. So I had opportunity, like any one of those years, if those guys in front of me didn't get hurt, I probably am not in the NFL because those guys were making money. Those guys were higher draft picks, but when they're hurt, they gotta play somebody. And I took advantage of that opportunity. You got to be ready for it. So that's where that just having a feeling with Baltimore. I don't want to say lucky because I felt those guys ended up coming back and playing, but they were great guys. You don't want anybody to get hurt, but when they do, man, and like in the NFL, man, it is like a vacuum, right? You just get sucked up in there, and you have to, you don't have sympathy for them, like because you're still looking out for yourself. So that's just an opportunity arose. And my first 2 years, it's like we just at that center guard position, they just like guys got hurt, and I went up there, they're like. Kirk was like, learn to play center now. My first snap at center was against Tony Saragusa. So that's how you learn the NFL. I mean, I'm sure that's part of the reason why they're like, hey, this kid's got something, right? He never played center before, and now he's snapping against this guy. But it was opportunity. That's what those first couple of years.
Was there a welcome to the NFL moment you want to share?
Oh, geez, there's too many of them, man. I mean, just the attitudes. Like, you want to talk. Totally different attitudes. And because when you go to Maine, right, there's a lot of people that are like you. And what I mean by that is like Northeast guys. You're all kind of cut from the same rock, Maine. But then when you go to Baltimore, man, it's Texas guys, Florida guys, California guys, SEC school guys, the Midwest guys, the Northeast, and they're all different. They all have their different attitude, and they're all bravado, and they're all the best at what they do. The intensity, the trash talking, confrontation on a daily basis of the fighting, and it was different then too because the practice structure was different, and some of that stuff was more encouraged than it is now in terms of fighting and your 2 practices a day at 3 hours apiece, and there was more hitting. I mean, my first year there, I must have lost 30 pounds in camp. It was so intense because we started not too far after July 4th. It was the 1 year, I think it was 1997, it's a long time ago. The NFL season started in August. The first game was August. And this was when after Baltimore moved from Cleveland, we had 40 rookie and first year players in the roster that year. So we had a whole week of camp of just first year guys. Then the veterans came in just for a whole week. So I was in camp 2 weeks before we even really got going. So I was just like, man, what the hell am I doing here? I think, this isn't Kansas anymore. I mean, I had welcome to NFL moments in my 10th year in the league.
Yeah.
We're in Pittsburgh one game, even just not related to me, we're in Pittsburgh one year. Jonathan Ogden is probably the greatest lineman to ever play the game. And we're in Pittsburgh, and he's coming across to get a safety, and this safety, boom, hit him right into the chin. And I never seen it. 6'9", 330-pound guy, 5 feet off the ground like this, floating in the air and going down, right? And that's like the greatest guy to ever play the game.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody in that league that doesn't get knocked on their ass, My last year in the league, there's welcome to the NFL moment. It's just, they're constant there. You have to have tough skin at that level.